Musings podcast with Fairbairn and Russell. Hello and welcome to the Market Musings podcast, where today we're going to be talking about a cryptocurrency called Beach. And Beach is all about, it's got good initiatives behind it, where it's looking at to remove plastic and clean the seas. But to talk about the Beach token and everything about it is the marketing guy, Dan, and of course Kenny is joining me as well. But Kenny has actually been involved in the launch of this coin as well. So this will be an interesting podcast. So welcome to Dan, first of all. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for having me on again. It's been a little while.
Yes, it's good to talk to you again. Of course, we spoke last time with regards to Roge and Proge. So this is another launch that you've been involved with, which is very good. And Kenny, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good. Great to have you back on, Dan. And I'm just looking out the window here, and it's winter in Scotland. It's absolutely horrific. It's just somebody's flicked a switch in Scotland, and it's.
I thought it was always winter in Scotland. To be fair.
It's still shorts weather. Just you know, what I mean, I'll go down the street later on, and I'll keep my shorts on and get a few strange looks. But yeah, it was like 4 degrees driving home the other night. You know, and that's. Yeah, we're getting cold, but no, it's good to have you on, Dan. And it is quite a strange podcast for me because I'm not going to say I swing both ways, but I've got a foot in both camps in this one. Yeah, as Mark says, I'm heavily involved with the Proge and Roger originally, but obviously Beach now. So yeah, I'm going to kind of dip in and dip out of both sides of the fence, if that's all right, Mark.
Yeah, sure.
Just slap me about if I'm sitting in one side of the fence too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I wonder if we maybe start off with just an overview of Beach. Which one of you wants to take that? Give us the elevator pitch.
Oh, I'll give the slip of shoulder to Dan. He's a salesman.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, look, Beach is it's unique in the DeFi space, the decentralized finance space. So what the overall aim for Beach is, there's a few different areas to it. So for the most important is creating a ecosystem that is for the environmentally conscious. So a percentage of every transaction on Beach goes towards clean ocean initiatives, single-use plastic reduction, and it's so relevant in kind of the world we're living in at the moment that is such a big thing in all countries. But with what you see with crypto is it's a truly global phenomenon, and some of the most heavily impacted places by plastic pollution and that need their oceans clean also tend to be some of the poorest places. So we are trying to kind of bridge the moral compass of making crypto clean and bringing a project to people that delivers an element of waste reduction, clean oceans, and allows people to, as our slogan says, do good with every transaction. Mm-hmm. So that's a very soft overview, I guess, of one of the very important aspects of it. The longer term or additional aspects to it, what we're trying to do is create a full ecosystem where Beach will be the native token to three kind of prongs, really. So we're looking to create a platform which will be a decentralized marketplace. What we want is something that is truly decentralized, so is available to everyone and anyone, wherever in the world they are, whatever product they're selling or buying. It's available for people to come onto it. And so you can think of it almost like a crypto version of Amazon. It'll be consumer led, the ability to review sellers and buyers. You can basically come on there and then part of what we're doing as part of those clean initiatives and reducing our carbon footprint is part of every transaction on there will again go back into clean and green initiatives. So that's one part, is that beach shop. We've got Beach Gig, which is P2P to planet, and again, this is kind of almost like a job board, or I guess a LinkedIn light for crypto, for sort of freelancers that can work anywhere in the world, and basically connecting our community who are environmentally conscious, being able to allow them to access within the beach ecosystem freelancers and jobs that can be anywhere in the world, and again kind of ties in with every sort of every transaction giving back to the planet. And the last element, which kind of sits across all of these, is beach pay. So beach, being the native token, sits across these and allows you to pay for any of the products that you want. It allows you to, if we work with cafes, you can buy your coffee. If we work with restaurants, you can buy your food. If you want to buy certain products, you can use the beach token to do it. And again, our slogan here is pay the planet, not the bank. So we'll have, interesting ways of reducing what it costs for people to use beach pay, and for what it costs organizations to use beach pay, with the main chunk of that again going back to carbon reduction initiatives or clean ocean initiatives. So it would actually be cheaper for corporations and people to use the beach pay than it would for them to use something like a PayPal or a Visa. And also coupled in with that is the majority of the fee that is with it goes to improving the environment. So that's a little summary of, I guess, all about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's and really everything then it evolves around the environment and the plastic initiatives, and every transaction, some money is taken away to go to initiatives that help to do that. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'd say so. I think if I missed anything, Kenny?
No. So I mean, basically, sort of 1.5% of every transaction, Mark, whether it's a buy, sell, or a transfer, 1% goes towards it's a clean ocean initiatives, and the other 0.5% goes towards carbon-free initiatives around the world. And I mean, I think it should just clarify as well that obviously Beach has launched on the Ethereum network, and the sort of main reason we're doing this podcast today is because we're about to launch Beach on the Binance Smart Chain network today, which is the 1st of October. So it's quite apt because it's first day of Q4. So we decided to pick that as a launch date because it aligns nicely with roadmaps. You can do Q4, Q1, Q2, Q3. So it's a perfect launch date for us. But I think just to follow on for what you're saying, do good. I mean, we've only been going about a month, but some of the people we met around the world, just via Telegram, WhatsApp, and some of the networks that we've created has just been unbelievable. I mean, I know, Mark, you've got some beach tokens yourself, and you've been pretty active in social media. You have a look at our YouTube channel, and you can see some of the stuff we've done already.
There's quite a few pictures going around of on videos as well of people actually doing. You can see them doing dives.
If sometimes if you just give people a bit of encouragement and you give them some, the basic tools. I mean, so a good example would be the Philippines. There was a couple of people out there that were really keen to get involved, and we've seen some of the pictures of the beaches that they'd sent us, and within 4 or 5 days there was 20 people willing to help us out, and you get them some gloves, protective gloves, you get them some basic tools, and get them some ideas and a couple of t-shirts and stuff like that, and what they've done has been absolutely amazing. We've got beach dives going on every weekend in the Philippines. These guys are actually going down, and you can, as much the actual beach itself is like the tip of the iceberg. Most of the waste and garbage is actually in the ocean floors. I mean, you see these guys, they're maybe only in 10, 12 feet of water, but you see some of the stuff that they're pulling out from the ocean floor. It's just horrendous. And all that happens is you can clear that beach, then the first big storm or high tide or monsoon or tropical storm, it just gets thrown back up again. So it's, there's some scary facts out there about, it's like 8 million tons every year gets dumped into the oceans. It's a frightening amount, and it simply can't go on. I think there's actually a garbage patch, they call it, in the middle of the Pacific.
Yeah.
And it's the size of Texas, which is just like mind blowing. I think you can probably fit 10 UKs into Texas or something ridiculous like that. It just, the scale of it is just seen. You can probably see it from space, and imagine you can. It's crazy.
I think it's also what people don't realize is, they don't think it's going to impact them. But if you look at the food chains and the fish that we actually eat, or the food that comes from the ocean, in terms of the number of, or the percentage of food that we end up on our plate that comes from the oceans that will have ingested and have microplastics in them. So therefore you are then consuming microplastics yourself. The percentage is ridiculous. I think it was something like 80 to 90% of food that ends up on your plate from the ocean has ingested microplastics in the ocean. It's not something that, because you can't see it, it's not there. It's turning up on your plate pretty much guaranteed every time you have fish, every time you get a certain type of food from the ocean. Those food sources are eating and ingesting microplastics, and it will be 100% of food you eat will have eaten plastics in the ocean, within a very short period of time. So it's a problem that, whilst people may not see it, it's literally on your plate. And it's something people need to be aware of.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, well, before we sort of talk more about beach, I'd quite like to talk a little bit about what it's actually like to start a new token or a cryptocurrency. And of course, you've done Proj and Roj before, and now Beach, and of course, you both of you have been involved in this process. Is it difficult? Do you need a lot of skills or a big team behind you? What's the sort of process? How does it all come together?
I'm allowed to swear on one podcast, Mark. It can be. Well, I think you should. What I've learned I've probably been involved seriously with crypto now for about a year, and what I've learned pretty quickly is it's all consuming. It's 24/7. It's 365 days a year. It never sleeps. It's just you can't get away with it. Away from it. It's different from the markets. We come from a stock market background. Mark, 4:30 on a Friday, it's like your dancer. Right, that's I can turn off for the weekend or try and turn off. But crypto's just there, and it's always in your face. And you do find yourself, you're constantly on the phone. Get off the toilet in the middle of the night or whatever, and I'll just check how things are doing. And then it's 15 minutes later, you go back to bed and you can't get to sleep. And yeah, it's very hard to try and sort of discipline yourself. But I think Dad will confirm it. It can be quite stressful. But I think over the last, definitely with Proj version 1 and then version 2, we've learned a lot from your mistakes. That sometimes it's actually better to make mistakes because you learn so much. I'm not saying Beach has been a lot easier, but you certainly learn not the shortcuts, but you learn how to do things, more smarter, more efficiently, and what works, what doesn't work. But it's, obviously, you need smart guys behind it as well. So we're fortunate we've got 2 or 3 guys that are really talented with smart contracts, and they know the networks inside out. So it's essential that you've got a core of these guys that are going to stay loyal to the project, because you see a lot of these tokens launch, and the development guy buggers off after launch, and it just kind of floats along. So we're pretty fortunate that the team that's involved with Beach and Proj and Roj are still here, and they want them all to succeed.
Is there a big team in with you guys?
I think there's about 10. I would say there's 10 of us.
Right.
people, do different, there's different tasks within it. You try and sort of streamline the tasks, and you think, oh, there's not a lot of tasks, but actually there is. I mean, Dan's obviously from the marketing side, and there's a couple of other guys as well that kind of always speaking to people that can maybe that are influencers in the space, or people that you need to get involved for a successful launch, and then the ongoing support as well. But what we're hoping to do, well, we're already doing it with Beach and the Ethereum network. With Beach and the Binance Smart Chain, we're hoping to tap into a different market. Obviously, everybody knows that the gas fees in Ethereum at the moment are a bit prohibitive. So,
yeah,
Binance Smart Chain, you're talking sometimes cents for a transaction, and it's so much quicker. So I think there's a lot more. We can open the whole world up to Beach. I'm not saying the Ethereum didn't open the whole world up to Beach, but you wouldn't get that person that would just buy a small amount of Beach because the gas fees just made it silly. Why would you buy $50 worth of Beach if you're going to pay $30 in gas?
And the rest.
Yeah. So we're wanting that, that guy that's saying, I'll buy $50 worth of Beach and it's only costing me 50 cents and gas. That's the kind of people we're trying to attract with the Binance Smart Chain launch.
Okay. I think on top of that, we've looked at our demographics, and a lot of the countries that are most impacted by plastic pollution and rely on their oceans to be clean for tourism and stuff, generally are more open to utilizing the Binance Smart Chain network platform. So it makes sense for us to launch on BSC so that people have cheap gas. It's greener as well. As part of that, we're also looking into how we move Beach forwards as a green system and a carbon neutral crypto project later on. So we're looking into platforms such as AVAX and Algo, which are again greener, faster transactions, lower gas fees. So it's an ongoing thing to make sure we're carbon neutral. As the project progresses and as we get bigger and our use cases start to actually deliver, it's important that we stick to our ethos and our culture, which is around being environmentally conscious and giving back. I guess if we would kind of pitch into people, it's saying, we want to both create wealth for people whilst giving back to the planet. Giving back to society, and like Kenny kind of mentioned earlier, we've had dives already. We've got our first upcoming mangrove planting as part of the project. What's kind of key here with Beach is, yes, we have a brilliant white paper and roadmap in place for how Beach can be incredibly successful. But what we're seeing immediately is a community token that's really buying into being environmentally conscious. We're seeing beach cleanups. We're seeing people cleaning up plastic and sending in pictures with Beach written against it. We've got this mangrove planting happening. We're seeing dives happening where they're cleaning plastic off the ocean floor. This is within a month of Beach launching, and shows the power of what the community can achieve from a physical aspect, which, coupled with what we want to achieve from the project aspect, we're trying to generate wealth for people as well as give back. And I think you can already see where we're starting to go from a community aspect and how the community is engaging with it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point you touched on there, Dan, about the wealth part of it as well. Obviously, the tokenomics are just not set up purely to well, you do good with every transaction, but there's a 15% tax, and obviously there's reflection built into the contract as well. So if you're quite happy to hold your Beach for years to come, you'll get 3% reflection pro rata on every transaction, and there's also 2 boost funds as well within the contract, which allows the team to go and purchase. It doesn't need to be Beach tokens. It could be other investment opportunities out in the crypto space. So we've got that flexibility as well, and we also have like a burn, 2% true burn. So a true burn. I'm still trying to get my head around about it. A lot of these burns, what you actually see is it's like a dead wallet that just exists, but actually with Beach, it's true deflationary. The tokens are coming down already. I think there was 100 quadrillion tokens issued, and I think we've burnt 2 quadrillion already. Yep.
So half.
2%.
Oh, 2%. Okay, yeah.
2%. Yeah. So you think over the more volume ultimately means the higher the burn rate. So it's if you buy in at this point and then the volume goes crazy on it and we ended up burning 10-15% of the tokens, your investment has increased significantly in value without doing anything. As well as on top of that, you also get 3% redistribution. So you're kind of doubling your money just by, or you're not doubling your money, but you're adding significant value to your investment just by holding, because there's a burn, which makes the token deflationary, which means that on every transaction, there's less tokens in issue, and also there's a redistribution so every time you hold, 3% will get redistributed, and so you're actually increasing the amount of tokens you have just by holding, and you're also decreasing the amount of tokens in circulation, which increases the overall value.
Yeah, this is all part of the tokenomics that's built into the contract.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. And what just to stress as well, Mark, that the tokenomics that we're going to use in Binance Smart Chain are exactly the same as what we've got in the Ethereum network. So it's like a mirror Beach in the Binance Smart Chain. But I think what might be quite good to explain, Dan, as well, is we've probably only got about 12 hours of it left, potentially, is the opportunity to actually earn some free Beach on the Binance Smart Chain.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we've run a number of promotions so far as well. So I'll touch on how to get the Binance Smart Chains, but as well as getting free tokens from purchasing Beach on Ethereum, which is the promotion. It's not promotion. It's how we're doing the launch today. We have also on top of that run clean Beach promotions. So the pictures that you're seeing of people cleaning plastic and then writing Beach in the sand with a $sign in front of it. We're compensating people that are doing that with Beach tokens. We're trying to make sure, and this is a model that we could potentially roll out on a larger scale with bigger corporates, utilizing kind of geolocation and augmented reality to get companies to engage with us, to have sort of airdrops or bounties or something along those lines as a way of saying thank you for keeping the beaches clean, keeping the oceans clean. So that's one of the promotions we're running. But on this one today, so what we're basically saying is if you have and hold your Ethereum Beach, there will be certain vesting periods, but if you hold your Beach for a certain point on the Ethereum chain, then you will be rewarded with half of that holding on the Binance Smart Chain. So the chain we're launching on today, which is Binance Smart Chain, by simply just holding your Ethereum chain, you will get half of that holding on Binance Smart Chain. So it's a great reason to buy Beach on Ethereum and just simply hold it and get free tokens on Binance Smart Chain.
And these tokens on the Binance, and they're still part of the original 4 quadrillion that were issued. They're not new.
So it will be I think it's exact same figures. So it'll be it's 100 quadrillion tokens that will be launched onto the Binance Smart Chain. But as we say, if you're holding on Ethereum, then you will get half of your Ethereum holding for free, just for holding for a certain period on Binance Smart Chain. So you actually get more tokens just by doing nothing.
By by keeping to hold your Ethereum ones already in your wallet. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we've done the math, Stan, and I think up to about 25, 26 quadrillion BSC tokens could potentially be given out to Ethereum holders if they vest for the full period. So it's a great opportunity. I mean, obviously, Mark, I know you've got some Beach tokens as well, but really by just forgetting about them for the guts of 6 months, you'll wake up one day and you'll have a 50% of your bag, if you want to call it that, in Binance Smart.
So it's 6 months from now.
No, well, there's different. So you can get, it's like staged percentages. You've to qualify for the full 50% or reward of Binance Smart Chain tokens, you would need to wait 270 days, which sounds like a lifetime, and it probably is in the world of crypto. But if you hold for 2 months, you'll get 10%. If you hold for 3 months, you'll get another 10. If you hold for 4 months, you get another 15. If you hold for 6 months, you get another 10. So after 6 months, you'd actually get 45% of the tokens. And then if you wish to hold for another 3 months, you'll get the remaining 5%. So 50% available if you hold.
And that's from when? From the launch of the Binance chain?
Yes, yes, tonight, 1st of October. Yeah,
right.
We do have a launch window of. So I'll do it in Eastern time because that's the easiest way to do it. So 3 p.m. Eastern time, which will be 8 p.m. UK time, right the way through to probably 1 or 2 in the morning. But the last time we launched Beach on the Ethereum network, it happened at 10:30. So we're hoping these things don't always go as smoothly as you would like, but we're hoping to have it, I don't know, Dan, maybe 9:30, 10. Even if we get away at 10:30, same as last time, that'd be perfect. Because it captures UK, captures Europe, it captures the States. You know, it captures quite a lot of the world. It's a decent time for launching. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's I think the last time we done it, we were still in voice chat about 2 in the morning, and the next day was a bit of a write-off. But no, it's exciting times ahead.
And the launch really on the Binance is to improve reduce the transaction fees because Ethereum's quite high. Is that the main reason?
Yeah, I think the NFTs that are the flavour of the month at the moment on Ethereum is just pushing the fees. But I mean, they're supposedly going to address the gas fees in the Ethereum network. So it would be great if they did, and then people have got a choice to do both, because there'll be a point where there'll be one will have a larger market cap than the other, and you might find that people are going to be selling their Binance Smart Chain Beach tokens and converting them to buying on the Ethereum. There might be people that are quite happily to trade like that. So there will be opportunities, almost potentially like arbitrage. Is that the right word I'm looking for?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So so but it'd be interesting to see whether if Binance Smart Chain goes off like a blinder and gets a good market cap, it might drag Ethereum along, and then vice versa. Maybe Binance Smart Chain might be lower than Ethereum, and Ethereum might drag it. It'll be interesting to see how the sort of dynamics between the two of them play out. And it's quite a recent thing. There's quite a few tokens just started to sort of mirror their launches on BSC as well, and it'll be good to see how it pans out. And obviously, if people hold on to their tokens as well, then there'll be limited supply in the Ethereum, so that in theory should push up the price of that as well. So there's lots of different variables, and I have no idea what's going to happen. As long as it's a successful launch and we keep pushing on and doing all this grassroots stuff, I think we have just just coming back to some of the stuff we're doing this weekend, I think we have three dives this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We have the mangrove planting, which people will say, what's mangrove planting? But the amount I've actually learned about blue carbon in the last 2 or 3 weeks is just unbelievable. And I didn't realise that everybody thinks, trees are the best things for taking carbon out of the atmosphere, but actually it's mangroves. They take 4 times the amount out of the atmosphere that a tropical rainforest does.
Yep.
And then obviously what happens is when the mangroves, all the leaves fall off, that provides a food chain for the ocean, and then the cycle starts again. But the mangroves are also important as well because it stops coastal erosion, and it protects some of these villages, as are right on the coast. So if they've got a barrier between themselves and the sea, mangroves effectively. They've got multiple roles in the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be really interesting to see.
And just on that then, in terms of what actually happens, how is it organised? Is it all through a sort of community at the moment, or are you looking to engage with organisations as well and companies?
Well, we've already had we've got a relationship with a company called Ginger Bees, and this is a UK based company, and they make clothing out of, I'm going to say, for want of a better term, it's kelp and stuff from reusable stuff. But I think their main source for the clothes that they sell is kelp, again, which was another huge learning curve for me. That's something else we're going to look into in the future as well. I mean, there's obviously kelp farms all over the world, and again, they are a fantastic source of blue carbon as well, and a whole new ecosystems emerge when you've got a kelp farm. So yeah, we've already got a relationship with one company, and there's been several in touch. So it's we're just going to do things the right way. We're not going to jump into bed with every company that gets in touch with us. They've got the same ethos and drive, and we all want the same goal. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, because whilst we want to create wealth for our holders, and whilst we want to engage with big corporations, so for instance, you can see Sky have a really big reduction of single plastics campaign going on at the moment. What we almost don't want is sort of blood money donations. Yes, we want people to invest and corporations to invest in the tokens, but we don't want it to be a case of money or time. Yeah, we yes, we'd love them to invest financially, but what we actually want is also to see them doing something that matters. So one of the things we've discussed potentially going to big corporates with is allowing their staff one day a year to work on a green initiative, a clean initiative, a beach clean, something like that, where it's it's proactive and not just kind of guilt money, because a lot of these companies, I think I saw a stat the other day saying it's like 7 companies are responsible for something like 80% of the single-use plastic in the sea, and it is quite staggering. And they're the types of companies you can think of off the top of your head. I won't mention them on here. It doesn't take much to do a quick Google to see, but they are the big boys. And so we do want to expand our reach and start having kind of conversations with some of these corporates to get them involved, but in a way where there's proactive work being done to improve things, because it can't just be throw money at the problem and think you've done your bit. It's both. It's investing and actually being proactive in how you approach it.
And do you have a roadmap then, or a timeline, key milestones? You talked about this full ecosystem, the decentralized marketplace, the Beach Gig, the Beach Pay, and of course continuing with the initiatives and partnering with organizations. Do you have key milestones, and is there someone there, making sure that those are hit, or what? How do you plan to deliver?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're actually in talks and have onboarded a couple of brands already in terms of so I mentioned earlier that the three arms of Beach Shop, Beach Gig and Beach Pay. Beach Shop, which the kind of decentralized marketplace, we're in conversations with a number. We've got a few, they're kind of smaller independent boutiques, but that is already taking shape. Work is already ongoing on these platforms. We've got some really exciting kind of tech around augmented reality and geolocation stuff that we can build into it. So the development is ongoing as we speak. We're working on it. It's some of it's not particularly far away. So the ultimate aim here is to expedite this as much as possible. The white paper we have and the roadmap is available for everyone to see. We've got Medium articles that kind of detail what we're doing. So yeah, we do have targets. Obviously in crypto sometimes things get pushed back a little, but the work going on and some of the conversations being had are incredibly exciting for a token that seems to have a really, really incredibly tight community already, growing organically. It's got a real feel of kind of togetherness in the Telegram chat. People are really bought into what we're trying to achieve. So I think the community aspect's going to be amazing to it, but actually delivering on the utility use cases is going to be where we really start to see some growth.
Yeah, we're only a month old, Mark. So we're phase one still. A lot of the things Dan's talking about there in phase two. So for what we've done in a month, to get all these communities in the Philippines and in Tonga. In fact, I think we should just mention that the beach clean that they've done in Tonga at the weekend. I think it was 60 something bags of waste and plastic they took off the beaches. It was 600 kilos just in one beach clean. And you just think, you try and get that in your head, it's like half a ton.
Yeah.
It's mad. And that was just a group of 5 or 6 people, obviously spent the whole day. But, it just shows you what can be achieved with 5 or 6 people. Yeah. And if you've got 100 communities like that, doing that every weekend, then you start to have, a massive impact on their particular communities. So, no, it's going to be exciting going ahead. It's just about getting people engaged. And once they get engaged and once they realise that they can actually achieve collectively as a group, then it just becomes a virtuous circle and it just feeds itself. And listen, there's corporations out there that spend millions of dollars every year to try and get grassroots activities that we're doing just now, and we've done it and within a couple of weeks of launch and not spending a lot of money, just actually giving people belief that they can make a difference and they're delivering.
Okay.
So yeah,
good.
I probably sat too much in the side of the fence, Mark. You were supposed to slap me about and say come back to the stock walk side of things. Well, sorry, this is a Market Musings podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'll jump back over now.
No, it's fine. I think it's a good note to finish on. Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything from that point of view. I mean, the only final thing we could talk about, I suppose, is the crypto market in general and what's going on. I mean, from my point of view, it's sort of consolidating. I would say. China banned Bitcoin again.
For the 100th time this year, I think it's
go on.
I was going to say, I genuinely don't understand how that piece of information can be released so many times and have the same impact. That is
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It maybe allowed a few people over there to to buy the dip.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, it looks sort of like it's consolidating, but so does the sort of general stock market as well at the minute. And I'm thinking there might be a bit of another push fairly soon. I don't know what your feelings are.
It's had a push overnight. We've broken into the 44 to 45k range. If it can break and hold 45k, I think we're back on for a pretty swift move up to around 50 again. It seemed to have some significant support around kind of 41k. I've read kind of pros and cons. Everyone's got a view on it, and they cover their asses by sort of saying it might do this, but it might also do this. And it's like, oh, so you're saying it might go up or it might go down.
Yeah.
And people make fortunes out of doing that. But for me personally, I think if you look historically, September's a pretty bad month for Bitcoin. October, November, and December are historically fantastic months for Bitcoin.
Okay.
I see, and I don't know if you've read recently, but there's been a couple of reports from Standard Chartered Bank, one of them to say that they see Bitcoin at 100k by end of the year, beginning of next, at least by Q1 next year. And another one where they valued Ethereum in real terms at something between $20,000 to $30,000.
Okay.
So I think that I think we're coming into bull market territory personally. I'm a big believer of 100k plus by the end of this year. And if that happens, then pretty much any crypto you hold right now should be worth more than it's worth right now.
I just want to sort of focus just for 2 minutes as well, just for people out there that's new to crypto or I think they get into the space, just be ultra careful. Crypto is still the Wild West out there in certain places and tokens, and there's a lot of scammers out there. I mean, we've seen firsthand ourselves, Dan, some of the lengths that scammers will go to try and get money out of people. So just be wary if you're on Telegram and somebody DMs you and it looks like an admin from a token group or an admin from an exchange. These people will never DM first. You should be DMing them. So just ignore. I mean, just for an example, we even had somebody in the Beach token that tried to copy my account and look like my account, and we're trying to speak to people and obviously try and engage and get their tokens off them. So just be ultra careful. If it looks fishy, it smells fishy, it's too good to be true, then somebody's after your tokens. So
the other one, which for people to be really aware of, is so fake groups are set up and lots of bots are added. So you suddenly get added to a new group depending on your privacy settings in Telegram, and the group looks really legit. It's got 10 to 12,000 users in, and it's usually a token you're already invested in, and generally what will happen is the whole chat will be on mute and there will be some sort of promotion as the last message where they're saying, we'll send us your X token and we'll give you 50% more back. I've seen so many people fall for it, and it's quite a clever scam. But they say if you're worried or you ever think that something's not right, just make sure you're messaging the admins of the token, the ones are the proper admins, and in that case you should be able to cover yourself. But like Kenny said, if it smells too good to be true, looks too good to be true, in crypto it usually is too good to be true.
Yeah, and once it's gone, it's gone. So it is. Yeah, it's not like you can phone your bank and get a refund. There's no bank of crypto or anything like that. So yeah, just be very wary out there, and like I say, scams keep evolving, and people are trying everything. So yeah, keep your tokens tight and And don't lose your seed phrase as well. I think that's another.
Oh God, don't ever do that. Jesus. Yeah. This is the thing with decentralized finance is you control what you have. If you lose your login details, it's gone. There's no fail safe like with the banks and stuff. You can't get back into your account. If you lose something, your passwords, your especially your safe phrase or your key phrase, that's it. It's gone. Everything you own is gone. So make sure you look after them and never give them away to anyone under any circumstance.
Yep. Perfect.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, happy with that, Dan. Thanks for coming on, and no doubt we'll be. It's a busy day ahead for us. Obviously, we are launch.
Yeah, with your launch tonight. Yeah.
So just to cover out, Mark, the launch is Friday, 1st of October, and the window of launch is between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Seaboard time, which is 8 till 1 a.m. UK time. And obviously, we don't have contract details yet, but if anybody's interested in joining the Telegram, I'm sure when we put this podcast out later, Mark, we can put some links in for our various social channels, and people can jump on and they can ask questions, and I might even answer. You never know.
Excellent. Well, thank you both very much.
No problem. Thanks for having me again.
Okay. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to another podcast from Market Musings with Ben and Russell. Tune in next time.